Hi, I'm Linda Nitzen with Sizzix, here to talk to you today about the Robbing Peter to Pay Paul die. It comes in two different sizes. The smaller of the two is the Biggs die that works in the Big Shot machine, and it's for a little more advanced quilter, someone who likes smaller shapes, a little more intricate. The pieces on it are quite small, finishes out assembled, so not all sewn up together, but just the 5 pieces sewn up together is 4.5 inches. So it's definitely someone who's got a little more detail in mind. Today, for demonstration purposes, it's easier for me to show you the larger of the two, which is the Pro, and it works exclusively on the Big Shot Pro machine. Now when you look at the shapes on the quilt here, you really want to get this secondary circle effect that appears. But to achieve the actual block, it works on straight pieces. So I'm going to show you today with a little more contrast using our two colors here. Let's load in the machine, load the fabric. You need equal amounts of your light and your dark fabric. If you had scraps that you wanted to use, just stay with your light and your darks, and then make sure that you use complementary colors as you're planning that out. Now when I lay my fabric on the die, I'm going to make sure that I'm just over the die. Let me place it here so that you can see it better. I want to make sure that my fabric doesn't hang too far over the edge of the die. If it does, then I'm going to be wasteful. So I'm going to roll it from there. I've got 2 layers. This makes 3. And I'm not sure this one's going to make it all the way. It's not, so we're going to roll that underneath the die. So we're going to line that up here. We need a cutting pad for the top and a cutting pad for the bottom. The bottom cutting pad is already in the tray itself. I leave it there all the time. So I'm going to lay that, fold it underneath, lay the die on top, place a cutting pad on the top of that, give it a little push into the machine and start cutting. And when you remove the cutting pad, you want to slide that off. So for purposes of demonstration, I already have some of the complementary piece cut for you. So let's lay that out. So when we put our pieces together, we want alternating to light and dark. So if you start out with your darker print, you want lighter pieces matching up next to it. If you start with your lighter piece, you want your darker piece matched up next to it. And then the pieces marry together that way, sewn in a straight seam. So let's start with the first set. Take a set of pins, and you're going to line up the dart on the middle. Now the edge here can be kind of tricky. What you want to do is you want to put your pin 1/4 inch in from the edge and 1/4 inch in from that edge. The corner pieces have already been dog-eared for your convenience, and then you're going to ease the rest of this together. I love this particular pattern because it has that circular secondary piece in the middle, and you get that with just the 2 color fabrics. All right, so we get that last pin in here, and then for purposes of demonstration, I have already got that sewn up for you. So you want to start at that pin. Do not start here in the corner. Start right there at your 1/4 inch. So a scant 1/4 inch all the way around, and you end up with a piece that is sewn up like this. I started at the 1/4 inch, and I use my scant 1/4 inch seam all the way around, and I finish a 1/4 inch from the edge. That's very important when you go to put these together. Once you have both sides set, then you would go to the 3rd side, and then again to the 4th side. And then you start getting this overall pattern as it goes together, and you start getting more and more pieces sewn up, and you achieve this wonderful pattern that occurs. So finishing off, you're going to complete alternating blocks. So you have a block A and a block B, or a positive and a negative if you think about it. And this is how it all goes together. So you end up with this circular pattern that'll go through your quilt. Make as many as you want across, by as many as you need down for the size quilt you're wanting to make. Have fun with that Sizzix Robbing Peter to Pay Paul block.